What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of FNFD, Friday Night Fight Talk. So, I don't know if anyone else hears this. I probably sound a little different. Over the holidays, I decided might as well upgrade, use that Christmas money well. So, we got the whole setup now. I'm doing this in my room, proper microphone and everything. Yeah, I got the whole setup here. I got a little soundboard I can talk into. I can actually hear myself a bit. It's a little weird. But it's all right. So yeah, this weekend we got Dern and Ribas 2. And man, we're finally ending the... God, how long has it been since there's been UFC? Like a month? Something like that? It's been rough. Times have been difficult for an MMA fan. All I've had to watch in between was Usyk Fury 2, which, glad Usyk won. Just saying. But, yeah, other than that, I don't think much has happened other than the new setup upgrade. I actually don't know how better I sound because I thought I sounded okay on the phone for like the first couple episodes. Then I actually listened to it. I was like, oh, yikes. That's rough. So yeah, I guess we can just get into it, honestly. So, actually not a horrible card. But my biggest fucking gripe, we're back in the Apex. Why are we in the Apex? Why? Let me go. Get me out of there, dude. I don't want to be in there. Anyways. So, first up, starting off, we got Narulo Aliev versus Joe Solecki? Yeah, I have no idea how to say his name. So we got who you would think is a Dagestani, but as far as I know, I actually don't think he is. This is I believe it was meant to be lightweight. I believe it's now a catch weight. They haven't updated that yet, but I believe one of them missed weight. I'm leaning more towards Aliev. And obviously, we've got the Dagestani here. I believe he's 9-0. I'm just gonna say he's Dagestani just because I think so. Joe Solecki, he had that fight with what's his face, Grant Dawson, not that long ago. He's struggled against high, like, close to the rankings lightweight fighters. He's lost to Grant Dawson. He lost to Drakkar Klose. He's lost to Jared Gordon. But he does have wins over people like Jim Miller. So, we can't count him out entirely, but we have to be advised. We have a Dagestani on the other end here. So we got Narulo Aliev. He has 2 finishes. Wow. That is really entertaining. That's got to be a really entertaining style. I bet. His last fight, he fought, I forget what it was. It might have been an Apex card. He fought Rafael Alves. Rafael Alves, I think he got cut after that one, if I'm not wrong. And I'm going to say Aliev wins this by a decision. Just Dagestani, Tajikistani power, honestly. Although I don't know, we could see him lose. He hasn't fought since February of 2023. It's been a really, really long time. So hard to say. We haven't seen him in a while, but I think he can pull off the win relatively easily. Or not easily, but I think it'll still put up a challenge. Turned up the noise cancellation, so if anyone was hearing the fan before, you do not hear a fan anymore, hopefully. And if you do, I apologize. Next up, my least favorite part. Unranked women's fights. Ones I honestly don't give 2 shits about. We got Fatima Klein versus Victoria Dudakova. Victoria with 2 eyes. That's how you know it's Russian. Fatima Klein is a huge favorite going into this fight. She had one fight with Jasmine Jasudavicius, which she obviously lost because she's Canadian. Not Klein. No Canadian would ever lose a fight. Right? Yeah. Wanted to give the awkward silence there. Oh, shit. Just snap my mic. Yeah, I gotta get used to this new setup. And we got Victoria Dudakova. She fought, what's-her-face? The old lady, I think it was on the Paris? No. Way too long ago for Paris. I gotta say, it was probably just an Apex fight night. Doesn't really matter to me. But she had 2 wins going into that fight. Both these guys were undefeated going into it, but now they both hold 1 loss. So who do I think is going to win this? I'm just going to go with the favorite. I'm going to say Fatima Klein gets a decision. She's only 6-1, and what's her face? Dudakova is only 8-1, so it's not like these two have fought that much. But I'm just going to go with the favorite. I actually think she could be the biggest betting favorite on the card, which is surprising me, considering she has 1 UFC fight with a loss. Okay. Next up, light heavyweight, we got Magomed holy fuck. Gadziasulov versus Bruno Lopez. That's big underdog there. Or not big underdog. Big difference in the names there. We got Gadziasulov Lopez. So, Magomed, hailing from the same country as the GOAT, Shamil Gaziev, comes into the UFC undefeated, has 1 win over Brenton Ribeiro, who notoriously has a 1-2 record, has a win on, it was the UFC, what was it? The Edmonton card, over someone who also is 0-3 in the UFC. And Bruno Lopez is debuting from the Contender Series, I believe. Actually, I forget if it was the Contender Series or not. It might not even be the Contender Series. He's debuting with a 13-1 record. So when it comes to this, I just don't know much about Bruno Lopez. I don't know much about him. And Magomed over here, he's got a few finishes to his name. Every finish he's had has come by the first round. I'll say he probably knocks him out in the second. Honestly, he's taken people like Brenton Ribeiro to a decision. Who's gotten finished, but like Ribeiro's gotten finished by like Minyang Zhang. So, I'm going to say he wins it, but I don't think it'll be a first-round finish. I'm going to say a second or third-round finish for Gadziasulov. I don't know why the theme of this episode is Russian accents, but here we go. Maybe it's the Ukrainian in me coming out. Oh, more women's fights. Sorry. Might have just absolutely ear-raped the mic. I'm not sure. I might be just doing that the whole time and have to re-record the episode. Okay. So, we got Ernesta Caraqueta versus Nicole Cagliari. I don't know why accents are a thing this episode. I'm sorry. Okay, so Ernesto over here has, I believe, a loss in the UFC. She lost on 301 all that time ago, like back in fucking May. Weird to say that was a long time ago. And Cagliari is, I believe, debuting. So, you know me. You know I couldn't give 2 shits about a women's fight. So, what we're going to do is, I'm just going to go eeny, meeny, miny, mo, and we're going to see who wins this, okay? Eeny, meeny, miny, mo, because attacked by the toe. If he colors, let him go. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Okay, we're going with Ernesta over here, by decision, because women's fights don't usually end in a finish. Okay. Moving on. We got Preston Parsons and Jacoby Smith. If I'm not wrong, this was supposed to be Andreas Gustafsson, but I think he broke his neck, if I'm not wrong, like a really bad injury. So yeah. Hang on, has the mic quality been shit? If I go like this, and then I go like this, oh fuck, hold on. The big contrast, woo! Okay. Preston Parsons, Jacoby Smith. So, the thing with Preston Parsons and Jacoby Smith. Preston Parsons, I've seen him win really well against people like Matthew Semmelsberger. He had that win Actually, I don't know if Matthew Simmelberger's still even in the UFC, but he's also lost against people like fucking or not. I was just about to say he lost himself. Trevin Giles, Owen Elliott, Daniel Rodriguez. So he's losing to real good welterweights. And he's just getting a win every once in a while. It looks like he's on his win cycle right now, but Jacoby Smith is coming off a hot Contender Series run. So from what I saw on the Contender Series, I gotta say he's gonna knock Preston Parsons out. I'm gonna say he knocks him out in probably. I'll say he KOs him in the third. I think it'll be late. I don't think it'll be right off the bat because I don't know if he's been finished in the first before. Has he been finished in the first before? Oh fuck, Daniel Rodriguez finished him. Well, he's debuting. We'll just say Jacoby Smith TKOs him in the third round. Next up we got Thiago Moises and Trey Ogden. Oh shit, bumped the mic again. I gotta move that a bit. Still getting used to this new setup. If it's on shit for this episode, it's alright, but if it's unlistenable, yikes. Yeah, so we got Thiago Moises, Trey Ogden. Thiago Moises, slight favorite in this fight. His last fight, he fought, what's his face? Ludovit Klein, I think. Yeah. Ludovit Klein, really good, unranked right now. And he's winning against other lightweights, but he's also lost to Benoit Saint-Denis. So he yet again comes up short against the what's it called? Against high unranked lightweights, I would say. But Thiago Moises, he's usually a really good unranked lightweight that you can usually bet on most of the time. Trey Ogden, his last fight was a win over Radzhabov. I forget what card that was on. It was a little bit ago. And then he also had that win over, I always see this guy and I can never say his name, Halabach. If you know what I'm saying. If I just sounded autistic there, I'm sorry. But yeah. Who am I going to pick to win this? I'm going to say Thiago Moises subs him. And I'm going to say, this is very risky. I'm going to say the first round he subs him. Thiago Moises doesn't usually work that hard in the first round. He doesn't usually go that hard the first round. He usually gets his finishes later in the fight. But I'm actually going to say he finishes him in the first year. It's going to be a very rare statistic for him here. And he subs him in the first. Do I care what it is? No. I haven't seen a good Kimura in a while. I would love to see one of those fucks. Man, the mic monitoring is not going good for me here. I'm wondering if this is how shit this sounds. But see, every time I play it back, I've been doing several testing. Every time I play it back, it sounds fine. I don't know what's wrong. Maybe it's just my end. Okay. Oh, see that was probably loud. You're probably deaf from that. If you gotta turn it down, believe me, God, turn it down. So we got Marco Tulio versus Ihor Potieria. So Marco Tulio, he's 12-1. He's debuting. Now, normally most debuting prospects, I would be like, I don't know. He's riding an 8-fight win streak entering the UFC. Now, I know I've said that before about many, many other people. 6 finishes in the first round. All his finishes, I believe, coming by way of knockout. And now I would be so cautious normally if he was fighting anyone else. But he's fighting fucking Ihor Potieria on short notice. That is a horrible matchup for Ihor Potieria. Because, don't get me wrong, recently, he's sucked. He's done alright before, but he's been an absolute shitter recently. I can't believe I had to use that word. Been an absolute shitter. He's been able to pick up wins before, but he's lost to so many people. but he's beat so many people. I can never confidently pick the guy. And now I will say in his last fight, it was eye poke and basically foul city. Like any foul in the book, Cesar Almeida was using it. But I really don't think he can get anything off. I'm gonna pick Marco Tulio by a knockout in the second round. He'll work him hard in the first and then manage to finish him in the second. I know this. I believe I said the same thing about Cesar Almeida. But the Cesar Almeida fight was foul city. That fight was getting stopped not that long. Okay, next up we got the flyweights. We got Jose Johnson and Felipe Bunes. Jose Johnson, I believe this is like the notorious 6-foot flyweight. Let me check. Does it say his height and his stats here? I don't fucking know. Oh yeah, it does. Height 72. Oh fuck. I can't read Canadian. Like, come on, I can speak it. I cannot read it at all. Okay. Jose Johnson. He's got he's got an odd record. He really does have an odd record because he's 16-9 at flyweight. He's 6 foot. But he's been able to have success before. He beat what's his face? Is Chad Anheliger? Yeah. Chad Anheliger. But he's lost to like Damon Blackshear, notoriously earlier this year as to Almabayev. Oh, my fucking cat. Excuse me, my cat. Actually, fun fact: my cat can open doors. By herself. I don't know how she does it. She can even do it from the inside. I know how she does that. Sticks her claw in the door. I don't know how much strength that takes to open that up, but she opens that up. So, if you ever hear that open, that is my cat, unfortunately interrupting. Where are you, you little shit? I'll find it later. But yeah, back to the fight. Jose Johnson, Felipe Bunes. Felipe Bunes, he oh my god, she just opened it up from the inside. Oh my god, cat. Here starts the trial. She's going to want in and out. Felipe Bunes, he has one loss in the UFC. One fight, but it's a loss to Joshua Van, who's now ranked number 15 and looking really good right now. He's more heavy on the grappling side. He's got a lot of submissions. Only a couple of his fights coming by decision. And who do I think is going to win this one? Well, if it goes to the ground, I could definitely see Bunes. But if it's standing up, I'm going to say Johnson. But because of the nature of this fight, anything could happen. I'm going to say Bunes by decision. I'm not going to pick him to submit him, although I could definitely see it happening. 100% I could see Bunes submitting. I could definitely see Bunes submitting him, but I believe that it'll just go to a decision. I think it'll go to a decision, but he'll use his grappling effectively, and I think he'll beat Jose Johnson to a decision. And then I believe we're starting the main card. Yeah. So, main card opening up, we got Punahele Soriano. I think that's how you say that. And, oh, fuck. Uros Medish? Medish? Fuck, I don't know. I don't know how to say it. It's got accents. It's confusing me. So, Punahele Soriano. He has, I believe, is it the one win? No, actually, he's been around for a bit. He's lost to Roman Kopylov, Stolfus. He's just one of those guys that picks up a win every once in a while. And Uros Medic. I have no idea how to say his name. He had one fight against Tim Meads this year, back in April, and he also fought, I can't say his name properly, Miktik Oralbai. My Tech Quebec? Oralbai. You fucking know Oralbai. I had that great fight with, Ribas and Semmelsberger not that long ago, too. So, who do I think will win this? I'm looking at both of them, and honestly, I'm going to say all finishes from Uros Medic, most of them coming by the first round. Soriano, one of those veterans that picks up a win every once in a while. I gotta say Uros Medic wins this one by a knockout in the third round. Late finish. Very late finish. I don't think this will be his first decision, although veterans tend to do that. They bring newcomers to their first decision. Or just win. Dan Henderson Bisping. What? I didn't say anything. No, he didn't win that fight. Okay, moving on. We got Christian Rodriguez versus Austin Bashi. Christian Rodriguez, he's coming off that loss. I forget Arosa, yeah. And he was riding a 2-win streak before that. He also managed to beat Raul Rosas Jr., if you remember that. That's the one blemish on Rosas Jr.'s career. This fucker got him. Tried to push him into the rankings too fast. But he's also lost to people that he shouldn't have lost to, is the thing. And Austin Bashi, he's coming in off the Contender Series. So, looking at him on the Contender Series, he did pretty good. Who do I think is going to win this? I actually think that Christian Rodriguez is going to turn this around and he'll win the decision. I don't think he'll submit him. I don't think he'll knock him out. I think he'll just win at a decision. That's usually how his fights tend to go anyways. Moving on. Former co-main. I still think this should be the co-main because it involves someone who's literally just ranked until, 308 when Shara got ranked, which was also kind of horse shit. I don't think Shara ever should have been ranked. I still don't think he should be. We got Chris Curtis versus Roman Kopylov. Now, there was a big rumor, I actually didn't look into it that much, that Roman Kopylov was sending Russian spies to Chris Curtis's camp to see what he was doing. And if I was Roman Kopylov, I wouldn't have to be worried. But considering that Chris Curtis was just ranked, we could see potentially if Roman Kopylov wins this, we could see him get a ranking spot. Especially with Michel Pereira at the 15, Shara somehow being in there. I don't see why there wouldn't be an argument for Roman Kopylov to get in there. So, looking at Chris Curtis, just ranked, had that fight with, the short notice fight with Brendan Allen back in, like, April or something after Marvin Vettori had to pull out. He's got, actually, I'm looking at his stats right now. Chris Curtis has 17 knockout wins. Holy fuck. And 1 submission? Jesus Christ. Chris Curtis just came out of the rankings, had not a very close fight. It was kind of a weird scorecard for the Barry Holt fight. But also, the thing with the Barry Holt fight, I believe Dustin Stoltzfus just KO'd Marc-Andre Barry Holt. Dustin Stoltzfus fucking sucks. If I look at, hang on, now I gotta go to Stoltzfus. And Marc-Andre Barry Holt, he really has done not good lately. And Chris Curtis had somewhat of a close fight with him. How the fuck? Like, I'm just wondering, is Chris Curtis kind of a shitter? Is he a bit of a fraud? I'm sure he's not. He's done great before. He had, like, tons of fights before. But Roman Kopylov, he had his last fight, he wrestled Cesar Almeida a lot. A lot of people weren't expecting that, considering he's gotten a lot of knockouts before. He was a big knockout machine. Until he tried to break into the rankings at 298 when he fought Anthony Hernandez, and he actually got out grappled there because Anthony Hernandez is the fucking man. But who do I think is gonna win this? This is really interesting. And Chris Curtis, we've seen so much from him before. We've really seen a lot. But man, I don't know. We don't see Chris get KO'd a lot. We really don't. I'm just gonna say Kopylov wins a decision. I think he's reached that point where he's like, okay, I gotta focus on winning. I'm not gonna focus on entertainment much anymore. I gotta focus on winning. I gotta get into the rankings. I think he's gonna win a decision. I don't think he's gonna get a finish. A lot of people are predicting him to get a finish here. I don't think he will. If he grapples him, that's really not good because Chris Curtis has great takedown defense. Absolutely amazing takedown defense, unless he's fallen off since then. If Chris either wins or loses this, we could see him get back into the rankings, but this is a fight I've been calling for forever. I want to see Bo Nickel versus Chris Curtis. That is a fight I want to see. No fucking rankings. No, Bo Nickel, I'm going to fight Hamzat for the title. No. You're fighting Chris Curtis. Sorry, buddy. You fought Paul Craig. Now you're going through the washed division. You're getting Chris Curtis. Not that he's washed. So yeah, I think Roman Kopylov is going to win a decision. Okay, moving on. We got featured bout here. We got Cesar Almeida versus Abdulrazak Al Hassan. He was supposed to fight a while ago, and it really confused me when he pulled out, and 3-piece left a comment that I just did not understand. But yeah, all of his wins have come by knockout. He had that no contest with Cody Brundage not that long ago. And he, of course, lost to Joe Pyfer as well. But Cesar Almeida, former Glory kickboxer, has that win over Alex Pereira in kickboxing. And yeah, he's done real well in the UFC. Lately, he's done real well. He has that one loss to Roman Kopylov, and that's about it. That's just it. And a lot of people say that was a close fight. I personally don't. I think Roman Kopylov won that clearly. But I think Cesar Almeida will take him to a decision. I don't think he'll KO him. He's got that Glory kickboxing style. I don't think he's going to KO him. He definitely could. Don't get me wrong. But I think it'll just cruise to a decision. Okay, and then moving up, we got the co-main here. We got Santiago Ponzinibbio versus Carlston Harris. So Santiago Ponzinibbio is coming off that fight with Muslim Salikov. I think it was a robbery. That was a robbery, in my opinion. I think Santiago won. Now I might have to rewatch the fight, and I could be sounding like an absolute idiot right now. But I thought Santiago won. From my last watch. And so Santiago has all those wins. He's got the notorious one that everyone calls back to, is the Neil Magny win. But he's also lost to like Michel Pereira, Kevin Holland. So he's been on and off, but he's hungry for the win this time, I think. Carlston Harris over here. He's got a few wins. He's riding a win streak right now, but he lost a little bit ago to Shavkat Rakhmonov. He really hasn't lost to anyone other than Shavkat, is the thing. Other than, I think, who'd he fight? Chaos Williams, I think he lost to. So, this is going to be close. Who do I think is going to win this? I'm going to say... Oh, man, this is tough. I don't know if I'm going to change it or not. I'm going to say Santiago by decision. I don't think Santiago is going to finish him. His last win was Alex Morono, who he KO'd. But I believe that he's going to go to a decision. I just don't see this him KOing him. I know I don't really have a reason for it here. I know Chaos Williams KO'd him, and he Ponzinibbio probably could, but I just have to think about it. I'd have to think about it more. And right off the top of my head, I'm thinking Santiago by decision. Okay, and on to the 2 ranked fighters on this main card. Man, women's main event in the to kick off the year. Jesus, last year at least we got Ankalaev Walker too. We got Mackenzie Dern and Amanda Ribas. So Mackenzie Dern, aside from having the fattest ass in the UFC, hey, she's riding off that win over Lupe Godinez, and that loss to Amanda Lemos and Jessica Andrade. And Amanda Ribas, kind of on a hot streak right now. Made the uncomfortable pause there. She's been winning every once in a while. She lost to Rose Namajunas earlier this year. I believe that was a main event. And also Macy Barber last year. But has Dern really fallen off that much? She looked good in that Godinez fight. The Lemos fight was close. And yeah, the Andrade fight was pretty bad. But she's been on the rise since then. And Ribas, I get she had that loss to Namajunas. But the Pinheiro win doesn't really say much to me. She's number 14. Like, she doesn't really say much to me. Gillian Robertson beat her. Or Jillian, I don't know how to say her name. I'm going to say Mackenzie Dern wins a decision. Now, this may be my ass bias coming in. But I think she wins a decision. I really just think she outclasses her in most ways. Grappling, maybe striking. We'll have to see there. But I think this is going to be more of a grappling match. I'm actually hoping it's going to be more of a grappling match for reasons. And yeah. So that's my picks. So for this week, we only had Ruffner comment his questions. So we got thoughts on the newcomers from the Contender Series on this card. I'm actually impressed that we're bringing, I'm impressed we're bringing in the guys from the Contender Series this early. I'm really excited to see how they do because obviously I wasn't keeping up with the Contender Series as much this year, but a lot of the guys looked really good on there. Now, granted, they're fighting other Contender Series fighters. That's always the thing I have to say. But I'm really excited for a lot of them. Yeah, I just can't wait to see how they do. Favorite match on this card, I gotta say Chris Curtis, Roman Kopylov. I think that's a really good fight. I'm glad they match made that one. That's a really good fight. And thoughts on this being the first card after a stacked year. I mean, the card's all right. It's not a horrible card. It's just like a little... It's like teasing me. It's teasing me. And we have an absolutely amazing card, hopefully, next week. Obviously, the whole thing with the LA Wildfires could put it in jeopardy. Not the entire card, but we could see it being moved. And if it were to be moved, I'm gonna say it goes to Vegas. But I'm fine with this. It opens up. It's like a little... I don't know what to call it. It's just teasing me for what's next. And it could turn out to be really good. A lot of the Apex Fight Nights I kind of just skim over. But I'm actually going to watch this one because we haven't watched UFC. I haven't watched UFC in so long. Another thing. The Immortal Tournament is back. I don't know if you guys remember, I talked about the Immortal Tournament when it was still running. Basically, whoever ran it, Alexa, I still don't know how to say his name. He's left our community. But I'm going to try and keep it running. So next week we have a couple matchups. Or sorry, not next week. This week is I would say it's kind of like the preseason. We only have a couple of the guys playing because there were so many people that wanted to play. I'm really glad there was a lot of people that wanted to play. I just feel bad for... we put veterans in the first round too, so it's either going to be homicidal, homosexual, and 3-piece getting eliminated, or it could be Ange and fucking who's the other guy? The Roofie fan? No, it's not Roofie fan. Who is it? Now I gotta check. God damn it, who is it? It's Liam JP Lindsay. So one of those guys is going home. Or two of those guys are going home right off the bat. I wish those guys the best of luck. I'm kind of thinking I might do a live coverage. I'm not sure. I kind of just feel like it. But the thing is, I know I'm not going to do one for 311 either. So I think I might just leave it. I'm not sure. As for next week, I got to say, this is 311. This could be one of the best cards of the year. I'm really excited for it. It didn't seem great at first when one of the first fights announced was Jailton Almeida and Sergey Spivak. I'm probably still going to take a piss break during that fight, if it even lasts that long, because Almeida just might sub him. But I'm really intrigued. This is such a good card. Finally get the rankings moving again. The freeze. And Dana joined up with the Zuck. He joined up with Mark Zuckerberg. He's I think that's how they're going to do the rankings from now on, if I'm not wrong. I think they're going to do AI rankings. I'm skeptical on AI rankings. I'm not sure. But yeah, tell me if you guys enjoyed the new setup. That's about it for this episode. Another funny thing. Hold on, I actually want to know if this works.
So I might sound a bit weird right now. This is apparently the male to female voice. It's kind of fucked up. I think it's a little weird.
And then we got the even deeper voice here, and
then yeah, this is a baby, and
fucking Darth Vader, holy shit. Yeah.
Yeah, I got a little soundboard here too, so any awkward moments, I got a shitty I got a shitty gunshot. It kind of sucks. I don't love it. So I have that jump scared anyone, booing, all that. Maybe I'll use it in another episode, but that's about it for this week. Thank you guys for listening. I hope you enjoyed the new setup. I'm gonna play it back, make sure it actually is like good, and we'll see how it goes from there. Okay. All right. Yeah. Thank you guys. I'll see you guys next week. Bye bye.